Pirates, where we're ready to go with Minnesota State 9-man high school football action. It'll be the Hillcrest Academy Comets going against the Cardinals of Lancaster, both clubs coming in unbeaten for this afternoon's action. The winner of this, of course, will advance to the finals next week. The winner of that will be the 1976 9-man football champion. As we look down on the field now, the field, of course, has lost its lush green and has turned now to the yellow or tan of late fall. There's a bald spot in the middle of the field at the 30-yard line. And, of course, this field, normally the Pirates' home field is a 100-yard football field, and it is cut down now in size to take care of the 80-yard and the narrower field. Incidentally, we did talk to some kids from Badger, and they wondered about the size of the field, because in the Northern Lights Conference, of which Lancaster was the champion, they play on a 100-yard field, a regulation football field. So that could be a factor as far as Lancaster is concerned here this afternoon. And if you also wonder about being superstitious, we look out on the field and we see the Hillcrest Academy Comets wearing the white jerseys of the Fergus Falls Otters. Are you superstitious? Well, listen to this. 2 years ago, the Otters were here in those same jerseys and won it by 2. This year they were up here in those same jerseys. They won it by 1. If you're superstitious, let's say they'll win it by a jersey. Well, if you're even more superstitious, just take a look down on this field here where the Black Cats, the black-shirted Lancaster Cardinals, are dressed in black shirts with white shells, red helmets. And we see a lot of black gloves on the hands of all the kids there. Well, I don't think superstition will be a part of this one. I think it'll be won by the socking in the trenches. Both these clubs very well equipped. So we'll give you one more superstition. If you're really superstitious, remember the excellent Hillcrest Academy Comet basketball team of a year ago. 2 games away from getting into the state. Well, now they are 2 games away from being state champions. Will 2 be a bad omen for them? About an hour and a half from now, we will know if they're going to be alive or hang their suits up for another year. But right now, let's take a look at the 2 clubs. First of all, for Lancaster, and we will look at them defensively, because we have not as yet received the sign as who's going to receive, but we'll look at Lancaster defensively. They'll go with 5 seniors, 2 juniors, a sophomore, and a freshman. At right end with John Kraska. He's a 6-footer. He weighs 185 pounds, and he's a senior. At right tackle with Bobby Dew, the biggest kid on the field. 6'3", 245 pounds, and he's only a freshman. At left tackle, it'll be Ivan Schofield, 5'9", 173, and he's a junior. At left end with Lester Wallenberg. He's a 6-footer, 165 pounds, and he's a senior. As we look to the linebackers on the outside, it'll be Bill Jozinski, 5'8", 165, a senior. At the other outside linebacker, it'll be Joe Kraska, 5'10", 165, a junior. Moving to the inside, linebacking-wise, it'll be Les Sundum, 6-footer, 160, a sophomore, and Randy Maslowski, 5'8", 170, a senior. At safety, it'll be Lee Christensen, 5'8", 170, and he's a senior. And I'll tell you, there'll be a flock of Christensen on this field today. Lee Christensen for Lancaster, and I'll tell you, they can start a whole school with all the Christensens they got over there at Hillcrest. We'll be back in one moment to take a further look at 9-man football playoff action. But now let's go back and listen to this. North Dakota school. So actually they only played Badger in Minnesota and the rest of them from the outside. And we talked to the Badger kids, as we said earlier, and Badger had everything the better of it. They figured they should be here, but Lancaster had the points on the board, and that was the difference. Now we look to the Hillcrest Academy Comets, coached by Dick Risbrud and Bill Colbeck and assisted by Paul Levang. This is the way they'll go offensively. At quarterback with Mark Amberson, a 6-footer, 155, a junior. At fullback with Jeff Martinson, 5'11", 170, a sophomore. And we'll take a break here while the Lancer Band plays our national anthem. quickly take a look again. We've given you Amberson Martinson. At tailback, it'll be Mike Strand, 5'9", 145, a sophomore. The wing will be Paul Estebo, 5'10", 145-pound senior. At right end with John Christensen, 6'1", 165, a junior. At left end. At left tackle, it'll be Craig Jernis, 6'4", 185, a senior. As we take a look at the center, it'll be Kurt Sandine, 5'11", 180, a junior. At right tackle with Ken Austin, 5'7", 190, a senior. At right end with Jerry Martinson, 5'11", he's a 165-pounder. We feel that this ball game today will be decided by the defenses. We feel that both clubs are pretty even, Stephen, offensively. We look for, of course, Hillcrest to run out of the deuce and out of the eye with a wing. And, of course, for the Cardinals of Lancaster, they'll be going out of an I and out of a T formation. And we would like to say one thing. We're always on the Minnesota State High School League, and we're right on them again today, as I can't believe that there are not any programs here for this ball game. And it's not the fault of the local people here at Crookston. Can you believe that the State High School League have the programs for this game made down in the Twin Cities, ship them to Grand Forks by bus, and then bring them over here by Pony Express? Well, that's about the situation, and it is absolutely ridiculous. Crookston, nice enough to sponsor this ball game here. Why not let the local establishment provide the program? So you can't blame it on the people here. They've done an outstanding job in preparing the field and the facility. And we're ready to go with nine-man football. While the introductions are being made, though, let's go back and have this final word. Sure. And we'll be ready to go with this one. Reminder for you Fergus Falls fans, there will be a football game in Fergus tonight. Class C football, as Bird Island and Hallock will go at it. That should be an excellent football game. Actually, here at Crookston, the weather is very good. Your temperature in the low 30s or high 20s, whichever way you want to go with it. Just a gentle breeze coming out of the northwest. But actually, a pretty good afternoon for football. Well, the Lancaster crew have been introduced, and we're ready to go. Nine-man football. For one of them, it'll be the end of the 1976 season. For the other, they'll go on into the state championship a week from now. Les Drexel, the football coach here of the Pirates, finally turned off his jet he had flying around the press box. And at Muscatelli, the good old Norwegian over here that keeps stats for the Northwest Conference, finally convinced that they would bring something to Crookston. Okay, we're set to go. It'll be Lancaster putting the ball away. Handling the kickoff duties will be Steve Yasinski. And remember, this is an 80-yard gridiron now. As Hillcrest go deep on the far side with Terry Langley, they go on the near side with Mike Strand. We're ready. The playoff underway. The kick. A high kick. Strand settles under it at the 5, to the 10, to the 15, to the outside, to the 20, and is hit down as he goes out of bounds at the 21-yard line. He's popped down at that point by Reed Shostrand. So it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Hillcrest Academy Comets. And let's see just where they put it down. It just shades the downfield side of the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 the Comets. They come out. Estebo is a wing on the right side as they line up in an I formation. The deep man in the I is Strand. Let's see if they shift out of it. No, they stay right in it against the 4-man front off to Strand. He gets about a yard, and that's all as he tried to get off the left side on a dive. Second down, let's give him 1. Second down and 9 yards to go. The Comets coming offensively. Ball game just getting underway. We have the Lancaster fans just below us. I formation. Christensen, the wing on the left side. Out of the I, and the handoff to the fullback gets up to the 25-yard line. Jeff Martinson getting to the 25. just short of it. It'll be a third down and about 6 yards to go. First period of play, 9-man football. Let's check them now. They go to the forefront, and they really jam the two inside kids in tight over the nose. Back to throw, Amberson. Amberson being pressured, hit down at the 10-yard line. John Kreska making the stop back at the 10-yard line, and the Hillcrest Academy Comets will have to boot the ball away. Boy, and I'll tell you, Mr. Kreska was coming on that one. They send back a single safety, and Bill Yusinski as Esteval will kick the ball away. Esteval will kick the ball away somewhere around the goal line. There's a kick. He gets it away. It's an end-over-end kick. Bounces at the 30, rolls out to the 40, to the 38, to the 37, to the 36-yard line. Territory of Lancaster where it's dead. Touchdown at that point by Dave Overgaard. And now we'll take a look at the offense of the Cardinals of Lancaster. First and 10 at their own 36. Remember, an 80-yard football field. They come up over the ball, and let's check them as they come out. Leading them out over the ball is Waleski. They line up in a T backfield. The snap right straight back, going back to Wallenberg. Wallenberg is hit at the line of scrimmage. He's tried to go to the right side. We see number 30 there. We see number 23. That's Mark Emberson and Jeff Martinson in on the defensive play. Let's give him 2, make it second down and 8 yards to go. 9-man high school football playoff. Up over the ball. Kind of shift up into a wide space T. The snap again goes back to the tailback. He's not going to get any room. That's John Kreska trying to get some running room. He's whacked down as he gets right back. Let's give him 1. Right there in the bottom of the stack, 5-0 getting up. That's Kurt Sandine. Third down and about 7 yards to go. We said we thought this would be a defensive struggle. We haven't changed our mind as yet. They come out, line up in an I formation, shift up into a full house T. There's a snap. They run a little reverse, trying to get some running room right up the middle, and not getting it was Steve Yusinski. He got over the 40 to the 38-yard line. It'll be a fourth down situation for Lancaster. They ran a little reverse with that one. Came to the left side, went back to the right side. Actually a counter play with Steve Yusinski going up the middle. Everybody stayed at home, and he found no running room. They're in punt formation as John Kreska goes back. Jerry Martinson will go back for Hillcrest. The kick, it's an end-over-end one. It bounces, rolls, and goes into the end zone. It'll come out to the 15. Down there, trying to get to it. Pop it down with Lee Christensen, but he couldn't quite get to it as it bounced into the end zone. The ball will come out now to the 15. Either team able to generate anything here in the early goal. Both teams now have had one possession. They're moving the chains down, and the sun comes out. But this time of the year in the state of Minnesota, not too much warmth out of it. Ready to go. As the ball now is at the 15. Hillcrest out in a deuce backfield with a wing on the left side. There's the handoff to Martinson. Martinson fights his way through, and he gets up just short of the 25-yard line. He'll be very short, a very short distance to the first down as the popper is put on him there by Lee Christensen. They have less than a yard to go for the first down. They've got to get over the 25. Out over the ball. The setbacks are Strand and Martinson. Quarterback hands off Martinson, busts his way through. He's got the first down as he gets to the 27-yard line. First and 10, the Comets. We're in the first period with 7 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the period. 9-man high school football playoff from the home of the Pirates at Crookston. Comets coming out again. They play that 4 front, and they put their 2 middlemen right side by side, and then they split their ends out wide. They really have the middle jammed up. But now they're running just to the outside of him. There's a little counterback, gets off to Martinson. Martinson gets outside. Martinson hit down as he gets to the 35-yard line. He couldn't find an opening as he went to the line of scrimmage, slid along the line of scrimmage, went to the outside and got to the 34-yard line. It'll be a second down and about 3 yards to go. Lancaster go 4-3 on the defense. They overload to the wing side. Away from the wing side this time. Already, there's a handoff to Strand. Strand is hit as he gets to the line of scrimmage. No running room. Popped very well in there by number 83, Randy Maslowski, and he got help in there from David Goroski. Joe Kraska. They have two number 21s. We got to make sure we get them right. It's Kraska who made the popper on it. And it'll be a third down and still about the 3 to go. As the ball rests right smack dab at the 35. Out of the I formation, winged around the left side against the four-man front. Out of the I in the hand, back to keep. Rolling, there's a pass out, taken by John Christensen. He's at the 20 to the 18 and hit out of bounds there. Knocking him out of bounds at the 18-yard line was Lee Christensen. And that time Emerson just laid that ball up there and let Big John run under it. He's inside the 20 at the 19 as the Hillcrest Academy Comets trying to get on the board here in the first period with 6:53 remaining in the period. Up again. Sandy in the quarterback. They're in a deuce backfield with a wing on the right side against the 4 again. And there's a counter back to Martinson. Martinson fights his way inside the 15 and down to the 12-yard line. Jeff Martinson, the fullback, down to the 12. Let's give him about 7 on the play. It'll be second down and 3 yards to go. They're trying to get outside. Of course, they're going one-on-one there, the way they're playing that defense. And now they wing out on the right side, out the I against the 4 again. And rolling right is Amberson. Cuts inside. He's inside the 10. He's at the 5. He's to the 1-yard line. Popped out of bounds there by Billy Usinski. And the Comets are starting to roll. Good blocking up in that forward wall once again. It's first and goal at the 1-yard line with 6:13 remaining in the first period. Good blocking out in front from Strand and from Martinson. I ready to go now. There's the keep, trying to wedge. He's not going to get it. He gets down to about the 1-yard line. Amberson trying to wedge it out. There was no room there. Down now inside the 1-yard line as Schofield was the first to pop him on the play defensively. Time down now to 5 minutes and 39 seconds. This time they wing Esteval out on the left side. Amberson down underneath again. Amberson, hands off. No, he pitches out. Oh, the ball gets away. And let's see who comes up with it. I think Lancaster came up with the ball at the 1-yard line. Lancaster picked it up on the 1-yard line as Amberson pitched it out to Strand. The pitch was behind him. He couldn't get to the ball. And Lancaster stopped the drive inside their 1-yard line. Well, let's see now if the Hillcrest coaches will let everybody come when they got them back here. They line up in an I, shift up into a very wide tee. And there's the header. There's a flag on the play as they get out to the 5-yard line with Steve Usinski. I think we're going to see procedure called against Lancaster on the left side. There it is. And holy cats, how can you penalize them any closer to the goal line? They were at the inside the 1-yard line. They'll take half the distance. You'll have to count it off in quarter of inches pretty soon. Well, they're going to take the penalty. And now if there's a pimple on that pigskin, that will be nudging the goal line. That's the wrong end of the field as far as Lancaster is concerned. First down, 10 yards and 4 inches to go. Well, we're right. Up over the ball as they line up in the I. Switch up again. There's a snap back. They reverse it around the far side to Kraska. Kraska gets into the open, breaks down to the 14-yard line. First and 10. As Kraska got outside and he can move. Corner did not come up very quickly. He gave him some running room, and it's the 1st and 10 Lancasters. They got a little breathing room now out at the 14-yard line in their territory with 4 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the first period. Out of the I formation, shift up into a very wide team. There's a snap back. They come back the other way, trying to get outside, and he's not going to make it. A good tackle back at the 10-yard line. Making the play was Joel Christensen. Joel Christensen come up and popped Steve Yasinski as he was hit down at the 10-yard line. It'll be second down and a good 12 yards to go now. And that time the corner man sealed it off. There was no place for him to go. Came up beautifully and cut it off. Well, I think we jinxed him. We took our glove off when Hillcrest was at the 1, ready to write down the touchdown, and they booted it away. Now they put a split on the right side, hand off to the big man coming up the middle, John Kreska. He only gets up to about the 13. He's back just past the original line of scrimmage, and that's it. It'll be third down, and for all intents, 10. Well, let's see, would you take a chance this early in the ball game? Deep in your own territory. We'll know in a minute. They're up over the ball as Bruce Waleski leads them out. They're in a wide space tee. The snap is straight back. They run the keep this time by Wallenberg. He spins and turns and gets to the 15, and that's it. That's just like the old Michigan spin series. He's just doing a lot of spinning back there, turning and coming into the line of scrimmage, faking to either one of the wide backs, but now they're in a punting situation, and John Kreska will do the punting. Back in single safety is Mike Strand. Ready, he gets the snap away. It's an end-over-ender. Strand watches it bounce, lets it roll. It rolls inside the 25 and down to the 20-yard line, where they touch it down. And Hillcrest now 60 yards away from payoff territory. They got down inside the 1, then tried to get outside, got caught, and lost the ball. And from here, Hillcrest will come offensively again. They have threatened once. 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the first period. Out over the ball as they wing around on the left side out the deuce backfield against the 4-man front again. They nose on nose with the wingman. And there's Amberson being hit right away as everybody was coming. Hit back at the 15. First one to get to him, number 63. That's their big freshman, Robert Dew. And Schofield also in there helping out on the play, but Mr. Dew was the first one to get to him. And he's a big kid, 6'3", 245, and he's a 9th grader. It's second down now and about 14 yards to go as Hillcrest come up over the ball. They wing out on the right side against the 4-man front as Amberson drops back to throw. Screen pass, Strand to the outside. Avoids one, spins away from another. He's up to the 25-yard line. The knee went down right at the 25, and he will be with a third down situation in about 6 yards to go. They ran that little screen to the wing side. He avoided one tackler. They still have third and about 6 yards to go. Up over the ball, a wing Estevaux on the left side. They bring those two defensive men in tight in the middle of that 4-man front. I formation. Amberson. He rolls out. There's a little pass on the near side, trying to get some running room and running right along the line of scrimmage, and hit down with Jerry Martinson. He was trying to get to a wall on the far side, and all he did is ran right down the line of scrimmage. And it'll be a fourth down now. He just turned right around, took that pass. I don't know whether he pulled a Jim Marshall or what. He was running across the field instead of downfield. I think they were trying to set a wall on the far side, but he didn't get there. Estevaux back in punt formation. Let's see what kind of a rush. Here they come. The kick. It's a high spiral kick taken at the 31. Trying to find some room is Yasinski. He avoids one, gets to the far side, and finally is hit down as he gets to the 34-yard line. A lot of running, but not too much of a gain. Tackle made there by John Christensen. And Lancaster got themselves good field position out of the exchange of kicks. Moments ago, Lancaster were pinned deep at their 1. And now they're out at their 33 with good field position. Coming out over the ball is Bruce Wozleski. They line up in an I, shift up into a wide space T. Quarterback down underneath, snaps it straight back, trying to get some room is Wallenberg, and Wallenberg is hit as he goes to the 34. They use that tailback, snap the ball through the quarterback's legs to the tailback, and then they like to do a lot of their play action stuff off of there. They'll run counters and reverses from that. That time Wallenberg just cranked it up, went straight ahead, there wasn't any room there. Let's give him about a yard. It'll be second down and 9 yards to go with 20 seconds remaining in the opening period. Out of the I, shift up into wide space T again. Actually looks like a double wing T. The handoff to 41 as John Krasky dove over a pile, got to the 37-yard line, and that'll be it, and that will be the end of the first period with a score. The Hillcrest Academy Comets, nothing. The Lancaster Cardinals, nothing, and we go back and listen to this. As Lancaster will come offensively out of the I. Shift up. And this time it's a single wing T. Lined up on the left side. The pitch goes back, trying to get outside is Kraska. Kraska fights his way over the 40 and down to the 38-yard line. It'll not be enough for the first down. He's going to be about a yard and a half short. And now let's see what they do. Fourth down, big play right here. Coming back into action is John Kraska. That time they swung around and lined up in a single wing T, going to the left side. Ready again, this time in punt formation. Let's see if they will punt it. Not back too far. The snap, the kick. He gets one away. Bounces it to 10, and it rolls back and is down to the 11-yard line. Downing at the 11 is Wallenberg, and it'll be first and 10 for the Cardinals, deep in their own territory at their 11. And I'll tell you, on the exchange of punts, the Cardinals have been forcing the Comets back deeper in their territory. If you're talking about a breeze in this one, there is a little breeze behind the back of the Comets at this point, but not enough to make that much of a difference. Lancaster looking directly into the sun. Deuce backfield. There's the pitch back. Trying to get outside is Strand. Strand runs it out the far side. He's up to the 18. Popped out of bounds at that point. Let's see who gets him over there. No, he did not get quite out of bounds. First to pop him with Bill Yusinski, and he got a lot of help then after that. We thought maybe Strand might turn it up, but he strung it out to the outside and got popped down, but he still picked up about 8 good yards on it. Second down and about 2 yards to go. The Comets up over the ball as Sandine leads them out over. They line up in a deuce with a wing out on the right side against the 4 again. There's a hand up to Martinson, spins, turns. He's going to have the first down, I believe, as he gets just over the 20 to about the 21-yard line, and that's it. Just enough for the first down, just over the 21, first and 10 Comets. Scoreless ball game here with 10:24 remaining in the first half. Lester Sundum coming in defensively for the Cardinals. Got a chin strap and back in the action. The wing switches around this time on the left side out the deuce backfield. There's Amberson flipping it back. Here's that halfback pass. He's wide open. There it is. It's complete at the 30. Going to the far side, trying to juke away and hit down at the 25-yard line. The pass was to Paul Yestival, and if he had cranked it longer, Estival would have had the touchdown. He had to come back and pick up the ball. There was nobody there. Estival could have stopped, had a picnic lunch, caught the ball, and kept going. Nobody was there. I don't know where they thought he was going to go. All the bathrooms here are locked, so he couldn't have been going there. Out of the deuce now with a wing on the left side. Down underneath, and the handoff. There's a counter back. Joe Christensen up the middle. Hayes to the 25, and that's all as everybody stayed at home, and Bill Yusinski made the big stop. It'll be second down and still 10. Oh, that halfback pass had him down there cold. The Comets have had a couple of good shots. They were down to the 1, couldn't find a handle on the football, and gave it up. And now they're driving again out of the deuce with the wing around to the left side against the 4. There's the pitch back. Trying to get outside with the ball is Jeff Martinson. He's to the inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Over there to make the stop was Steve Yasinski, and he got help over there. The first one to get to him was Big Bob Dew. Excuse me, number 83. That would be Randy Molaski. Not Dew. Dew has 63. We didn't think that big kid was that quick. Well, it'll be a first down as the ball's inside the 15 at the 14, and once again the Comets are threatening. Out of the eye, winged out on the left side against the 4. And there's going to be an encroachment penalty called against John Kreska. An interesting point here, if you've just come with us, Lancaster play all their 9-man games on 11-man football field, 100 yards, and the wide field. They're looking here at a narrower field, which could hurt their sweeps and things because they are used. He's in touchdown. Emerson rolled right, went in from 9 yards out, and Hillcrest Academy on the board. Mark Emerson getting the TD. And that came here in the second period with 9 minutes to go. They will try 4th and 2. Up over the ball, and 6-0 now with Hillcrest out in front. They've had 2 chances to score. Cashed in on 1. Out of the deuce backfield, wing on the left side. Amberson back. Amberson rolls. Amberson cranks it out. Complete pass the ball for the 2 points. 8-0. Hillcrest lead it, and we'll go back for this word. Again, as Vic Kuma will kick it off. Yasinski deep on the near side. Well, we got a pair of Yasinskis handling the ball. Will be Bill Yasinski's up to the 15, cuts to the outside to the 20, hit down there on a good tackle. Making the tackle is Joe Christensen, who got him right at the ankles and wrestled him down just short of the 20, where the Cardinals will come offensively. They're behind in the ball game, 8-zip. Hillcrest have come on stronger each time they have gotten the football now. Seem to be building up a good head of steam and a lot of confidence. They were down to the 1, booted it away at the 1, and the Cardinals now come out, want to get back on the board and tie it up. We have 8:30 remaining in the period as they line up with a slot on the right side to bring the slot man back in motion. Handoff first man, there's no running room. Trying to get some room up that right side, and there just wasn't any for Joe Kraska. Let's move him out just over the 20, put it on the 21, call it 2nd and 9. Boy, they've shot a lot of offensive sets at him. They've gone slot, they've gone double wing, they've gone T, and now they set up in a slot around on the left side to bring the slot man, Yasinski in motion, a handoff, trying to get some room this time with Joe Kraska. He got just about to the 25-yard line, but not quite. Topped down there by Jeff Martinson. It'll be 3rd down and about 6 yards to go. A long 6, a short 7. We're in the second period. 9-man football playoff action from the home of the Crookston Pirates at Crookston, Minnesota. The Comets leading it 8-0. Up over the ball, this time in an I formation. Shifts up to what amounts to double wing T. The snap is back. There's that little play around again to Steve Yasinski trying to get outside. He fooled no one. Hit down at the 20-yard line. And over there again, I believe it was Joel Christensen. Yes. And I'll tell you, Christensen has played that corner like he's owned it. The Comets have been caught a couple of times on the other side, but Christensen has stayed right at home and moved up and sealed off the corner very well. In front formation, as the Comets will send back Strand. Strand incidentally has a big arm full of stitches. He cut his arm day before yesterday, but he's not going to be out of this one. The snap is over his head, goes back to the end zone. He throws a pass out of there, and it's incomplete. Oh, there's quick heads-up thinking, I'll tell you. The pass went over John Kraska's head. He went into the end zone. He cranked the pass to Randy Maslowski, and Maslowski could not get to it, and he's an eligible receiver. And we looked, there were no men downfield, so had he caught that, he'd had a lot, we can't say green grass, he'd had a lot of brown grass out in front of him, and would have had a good gain off it. Good, quick thinking on the part of Kraska, but now the Comets with good field position at the 21 in the territory of the Cardinals of Lancaster. Deuce backfield, wing right, handoff Martinson. He fights his way. That's Jeff Martinson getting inside the 15 to about the 14. And I'll tell you, good blocking up in that forward wall again for the Comets. The winner of this one, of course, will be playing the winner of the Welcome Deer Pick contest, which is being played down at Fairmont, Minnesota tonight. Deuce backfield, wing right, four-man defensive front. They like to go 4-3. There's a handoff to Amberson, and Amberson, handoff to Amberson. He just kept it, went left. You can't hand off to yourself very well. He gets down just short of the 10, and I think they're going to bring the chains in for a measurement. Nope, first down. First down and 10. Just outside the 10-yard line, so they could conceivably get a first down without getting into the end zone. Big plays right here for the Comets. They'd like to get another one on the board here in the first half. They come around Estebo, winged on the left side out of the Deuce backfield. Amberson pitches back, trying to get outside with it. It's Jeff Martinson. He's hit down at about the 2-yard line. Inside, well, let's see, nope, they move it back. They say his knee went out of bounds at about the 6-yard line. And it'll be a second down at that point. He actually hurtled forward close to the 2, but they say he went out at the 6. We have 5 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in the first half. The Comets lead it 8-0. Up over the ball, and they swing Christensen around as a wing out of the left side. Against the 4 again. Out of the eye this time. Amberson down underneath. Amberson hands off. Strand puts his head down, spins down close to the goal line, probably about the 2-yard line. Right there, Joe Kraska is one of the kids to get off the tackle. He was the first one to get to him, then got help. But it's a third down now, and about 2 yards to go for the first down, about 3 yards to go for the TD. Estebo coming in, carrying in a message from the bench. They break out. Sandine up over the ball. They line up in a deuce with a wing around to the right side. Amberson down underneath. Amberson hands off. Martinson has the touchdown. Jeff Martinson gets the touchdown, and the Comets have vaulted out in front now, 14-zip. Jeff Martinson, no sweat that time, hurdled one and went in. Hillcrest trying it again. They wing out on the right side again. Amberson down. Amberson looks back to throw. Cranks it up the middle. Complete as the pass is caught in the end zone by Jerry Martinson. And with the score 16-0 Hillcrest, let's go back and listen to this. Well, we're back again as the Comets now lead at 16-0. Kuma coming forward. There's a kick, a high kick. Picked up at the 1, drop there, coming to the near side is Yasensky. Yasensky at the 15. Hayes hit down, fumbles the ball, and Hillcrest have it. Getting off the ball is Jerry Martinson. Jerry Martinson, who just got the 2 extra points, coming back with that. And we can pick him out very quickly because number 22 has that big red shirt hanging down underneath as one of the receivers. And right away, Hillcrest with great field position at the 14. Jerry Martinson falling on that one. Estebo now is the wing out on the right side. Deuce backfield. There's the pitch back. Mike Strand trying to get outside. Hayes hit down back at the 18 on a beautiful tackle. And Amberson is going to get called for illegal use of the hands. There's no doubt of it. And I think when you see that one on video, you'll see Mr. Amberson standing out there all by himself, shoving off on the play, and the penalty will go against Hillcrest. I'll tell you, a great defensive play by Wallenberg on the play to make the tackle back at the 19. They're discussing the option now. But Amberson just pitched the ball back, and then he pushed off, and I'll tell you, he really pushed off. And they they step it off, it'll come back to the... Well, they're still walking. There it is at the 33-yard line. And I'll tell you, if you're going to get one of those actions, you don't want to do it right in front of those guys with those black and white striped shirts on. Ready to go as the wing switches around on the right side. Still against the fours. They're jamming up the defense a little tighter. Amberson drops back to throw. Screen on the side to Strand. Strand gets away from one. He's at the 30. He's at the 25. He's inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. Bill Yasinski tipped him up and finally getting here to make sure he didn't get any farther was Randy Maslowski. But they ran that little screen. A good block on the one corner man who had a shot at him. Cleared it out, and Strand just rambled down to about the 17-yard line. Still got a long ways to go. It's second down and about 12 now. Wing on the right side. Let's see if Amberson will drop back again. Amberson does hand off on the draw to Strand. No running room as he got popped well by Joe Kreska that time. Just inside the 15-yard line. Kreska stayed right at home, and he put the popper on him. The Kyborsch hit him down. Now we got a third down and 10 at the 15, just inside the 15. Hillcrest leading it, 16-0. They line up in a deuce backfield with a wing around on the left side. They've opened up that four-man front a little bit now. Emerson rolls right. He's looking for someone. Throws it downfield. Oh, he overthrows him. He overthrows. The pass was intended for Jerry Martins, and right at the goal line, pretty well covered, but the pass is off the fingertips. It'll be a fourth down, and still 10 yards to go as the ball is out at about the 15, as Hillcrest went for all the marbles on that one. Well, you got to wonder a little bit if they wouldn't just try and pick about half of it on that one, but they went for all, and it was a good play. Martinson nearly coming up with out of the eye this time, wing out on the right. And we're going to have an encroachment, or did the back pop? Let's see how they call it. They're going to call the procedure against, and that's the way we saw it. The deep man in the I formation did pop. He popped, and that's the no-no, and it'll go against them. Everybody, of course, saw John Kreska encroaching, but the interpretation, he was drawn off by the tailback popping. 16-0, Hillcrest lead it. Trying to get into the state finals a week from today. Out of the I formation, the deep man is Strand. The tailback, the wing on the right side is Yestevo. Back to throw is Amberson. Amberson looks. He cranks it up deep. Good coverage back there and batted out of there by Steve Yasinski. Goes incomplete, and the Cardinals will take over as they covered well on the deep throw. But the Comets will now have to go back on the defense as the Cardinals of Lancaster will get a shot with 3:05 to go in the first half. They're down 16-0. They have the ball right smack dab at the 20 in their territory. 60 yards away from touchdown territory. Let's see how they line up. In and I. Shift up this time. They run a wing. A single wing right is what it amounts to. And there's a handoff and trying to get some room with Kreska. There's no room for him. He's hit down at the 20-yard line. Number 21, Joe Kreska. It'll be a second down and 9 yards to go. I tell you, you're running at tough stuff when you try to run off that left side. Jurnis does an excellent line. Both these tackles, Jurnis and Austin, both excellent tackles. Ready again. There's the pitch back. There's a flag on the play. And trying to get outside is Kreska. Kreska breaks through and gets up to the 35-yard line. Let's see what the penalty is. Could be a procedure penalty, we do believe. Let's see. Procedure penalty against Lancaster, so the ball will come back. They're a good run, but all for naught. A legal procedure. And instead of having the first down out at the 35, 4-yard line. They'll have a second down back inside at about the 15-yard line. 2 minutes and 26 seconds remaining in the first half. 16-0, the Comets lead it. They'd like nothing better than to get into that state championship game next week. They line up in an I, shift up into a double wing P. There's a snapback. Trying to get outside now is Joe Kraska. Kraska's hit down on a beautiful tackle back at about the 7-yard line. Joel Christensen, number 30, that would be Jeff Martinson coming up. And Sandine also up there, so that put the Cowboys back up, and they got third and a transcontinental trip for the first down. They're back inside the 10. They got to get out to the 30.
This is KBRF, Fergus Falls. Time 10 minutes after 4.
The Cardinals have not had much of an offense going here in the first half. They've thrown a lot of multiples, a lot of sets at you, but have not been able to do anything with it. Now they unbalance their line to the right side. Then they pitch it back, trying to get outside. There's a reverse going the other way to Steve Yasinski, and he's going to be hit down at the 5-yard line. First one to get to him, and you got to give him credit. Number 76, Dave Christensen. He's the one that slowed him up. And then the tackle was finally made over on the far side, I believe, by Chuck. But Dave was the first one to get to him, number 76. And timeout now with 1:28 to go in the first half. 16-0, Hillcrest lead it. Let's go back and have a listen to this.
Join the CB crowd with a new Midland Citizens Band radio from the large selection at the
back again in punt formation. Here's a kick, an end-over-end kick. Strand picks it up at the 30. He's to the 25, to the 23. Popped out of bounds by Joe Kraska. And once again, Hillcrest with good field position with 83 seconds. 1:23 remaining on the clock here in the first half. Hillcrest lead at 16-0, 9-man football. Minnesota State High School League playoff action. Kuma over on the far side, practicing as if he might come in and try a field goal. They come out now, Estevo with a wing on the left side against the 4 again, and they really loosened up that 4-man front. There's a pitch trying to get outside is Jeff Martinson. He throws, a pass is complete to Estevo. Estevo is hit down at the 11-yard line, up down there by Lee Christensen. It'll be a 1st and 10 at that point. A lot of time left here in the first half. 1:15 remaining. They've got time as they're down at about the 11-yard line. And I'll tell you, the lines will be hard to pick out, and that's not the fault of this place. It's just the fact that fall is here, and the color is not in the field as it normally is. I formation, wing on the left side. Amberson down underneath. Amberson rolls right. Amberson cranks it up the middle. Incomplete. Looked like the pass was intended for John Christensen. Joel Christensen was the closest to it. If he'd had it up a little bit higher, Joel Christensen was wide open. But ifs, ands, or buts are not all part of the football game. It's getting it over that double stripe line they call the goal line. Hillcrest coming out now. The clock stops with 56 seconds showing here in the first half. Incomplete pass stopping it, of course. And we're set now as Estevo comes out on the left side as the wing, out of the deuce backfield against the 4. Emerson back to throw again. Emerson cranks it up. He hits Christensen. Christensen is down to about the 5, I believe. Let's see what they get. Hillcrest leading 16-0. And the ball down at, well, let's see if they move it down. We'll give it to you first. We're going to stay here with it. At about the 5-yard line. It'll be a 3rd down and about 3 yards to go for the first down. 4 yards to go for the TD. Hillcrest would like to pick another one right here. 47 seconds remaining in the half. And with a timeout here, we're going to stay right here because we got away from it late. Dick Risbrook talking to Mark Amberson over on the far side. They'd like to stuff another one right in here just before the half. They lead at 16-0 at this point. A touchdown here would really be tough for Lancaster to come back again. They have really used a lot of offensive sets. They even went unbalanced the last time with the ball, and it did not make too much difference for them. Well, Hillcrest will come offensively. 3rd down and 5 yards to go for the TD, 4 for the first down. Out of the deuce, winged right. Amberson down underneath. Amberson drops straight back. There's a little draw, and nobody was fooled. They ran the draw, and being tackled immediately on the play was Jeff Martinson, and he's tackled back at about the 9, and we have 36 seconds, I believe. The light's shining right on there now. And it'll be a 4th down and 8 yards to go for the TD. And Hillcrest, of course, taking a timeout right here. We're watching Kuma cross the way. Apparently they're not going to try and let him boot one through the uprights. Look for Amberson to roll right or left. Get some play action here off of this one and try to hit someone in the end zone. They could get a first down at about the 1 yard line. It's a big 4th down play right here for the Comets. They come up over the ball and they swing Estevaux as a wing on the right side out of the deuce backfield. Amberson down underneath. Amberson long count. Amberson straight back. Amberson cranks it on the side. Christensen there overthrows him at the 1, and the Cardinals will take over. 1st and 10 for Lancaster. And Lancaster now will come offensively with 33 seconds remaining. And Hillcrest leading at 16-0, and we go back for this word. We're back again as the scoreboard clock shows us 33 seconds remaining in the first half. Well, you're back at your 10-yard line. You're going to crank up, take a chance here, try to get on the board with the bomb, or you're just going to kind of run things out. They've got their huddle way over on the near side. They snap the ball back to get a screen on this side. The pass comes out to Steve Yasinski, popped out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Now, you tell us what kind of a formation that was. That had to come from the days before Columbus discovered America. They put everybody but the center and the tailback out on the right side in a nonchalant type alignment, snapped it straight back to Joe Kraska. He threw a pass. They tried to set up a screen, but Hillcrest recovered very quickly and wrapped them down at the 10. Now they run a spread in the slot on the left side. There's a snap back into a short punt situation. They pass out on the side, incomplete, as the pass was intended downfield for Randy Maslowski. And if this is any indication, we're going to see 4 sets in the second half, then Carter's got pills. I have never seen such an odd variety of sets in my life. I think Moscatelli of Crookston must have written the playbook for him. Oh, he's not a bad guy. He's that bird that keeps the stats for the Northwest Conference, does an excellent job, and we're very thankful to have him about. There's a screen on the side. Pass taken, trying to get down the sidelines is Kraska, and Kraska's hit down as he gets to the 25-yard line. And we still have 12 seconds to go in the first half with the score Hillcrest 16, Lancaster nothing. Timeout, and we go back for this. With 12 seconds remaining on the clock here in the first half. Hillcrest out in front, 16-zip. And we're going to have to really keep our eyes on the Cardinals because they really have the sets. Now let's see how they come out. This time they bring Steve Yasinski at the wing on the right side out of the shotgun. They split on the left side. The snap is back. There's a little screen. They'll throw a pass off him back to the original guy. And he is popped at the line of scrimmage. I'll tell you, popped by Jeff Martinson back at the 11-yard line on Bill Yasinski. Boy, you've heard of the old Grandma Moses and her wonderful fancy knitwork. Well, I'll tell you, the Cardinals are using some fancy plays, but Hillcrest have diagnosed them all perfectly. And there's the end of the first half with a score. The Hillcrest Academy Comets 16, the Lancaster Cardinals nothing. We'll be back after this word. We're back again. Let's take a quick look at that first half. The first period ended scoreless. Hillcrest had a golden opportunity to score. They had the ball at the 1, coughed it up at the 1, and the Cardinals took over. The first period then, as we said, ended scoreless. In the second period, Mark Amberson from 9 yards out at 9 minutes of the first period put Hillcrest on the board at 6-zip. Then Estevaux took the pass for the extra points. It was 8-0. Then Jeff Martinson from 1 yard out at 5:03 of the second period made it 14-0. And we saw it as Jerry Martinson picking off the pass in the end zone for the two-pointer, and it was 16-0. So far, as we can recall, there has not been any threat on the part of the Lancaster Cardinals here in the first half. But I'll tell you, they are going to test Hillcrest's defense in the second half, mainly because of all of the sets that they use. I think one thing that Hillcrest have going for them defensively, though, is that they do have tremendously quick reaction along the line of scrimmage. They recover quickly on these plays. They have more speed than does Lancaster. We've heard of Lancaster's great speed, but we feel that Hillcrest have much the better of that. So here at halftime, the Comets looking for a trip to the state finals in 9-man football, leading Lancaster 16-0, and we're going to go back to our studios now for about 10 minutes.
A telephone rating.
Welcome back, sports fans. At the halfway mark, the Hillcrest Academy Comets trying to win their way into the Minnesota. Welcome back, sports fans. At the halfway mark, the Hillcrest Academy Comets trying to win their way into the Minnesota State 9-man football championships, leading Lancaster 16-0, and this is the way the things went in the first half. First down-wise, Hillcrest Academy with 5 on the rush, 3 on the pass for 8 first downs. Lancaster 1 rushing, 1 passing, 1 on the penalty for 3. Hillcrest rushed for 71 yards on 24 carries. Lancaster 24 yards on 17 carries. Passes, Hillcrest 7 for 12, had none intercepted, good for 104 yards. And Lancaster, 3 cast up in the air, 2 completed, good for 6 yards. They had none intercepted. Total yardage, Hillcrest with 175 yards in the first half, and Lancaster with a scant 30. But we still have one half of football still to go. Both teams are back on the field. And the Lancaster Cardinals, I think really the story, the second half, will be the first offensive go they get with the football. If they cannot get something generated then, I think you're going to find that the Comets are going to kind of take things over. But this is high school football, and we talked to several people about the 100-yard field situation. Most of the schools in the Northern Lights Conference are North Dakota schools, and in North Dakota they do use a 100-yard regulation football field for their 9-man football. In fact, in their state playdowns, that's the way it went. But, and as a result, Lancaster used that. Of course, here in Minnesota, they use the 80, and I do think that if Lancaster did have the good speed, which I haven't seen so far in the ball game, Hillcrest has the better of it speed-wise, then that could have been a factor for him, because 9-man on 11-man field would certainly make it a wide-open game. Well, we're ready to go. Put our gloves on. We're ready to go now with the second half. As back deep to receive Kuma's kickoff will be number 11. That is Bill Usinski. Over on the far side is Steve Usinski. Billy Usinski will take it at the 5. He's up to the 10, to the middle, to the 15, to the 20, breaks from 1 and gets to the 25, where he's tucked down in pretty good shape. First one to get to him, let's give credit, 7-0, Glenn Johnson getting to him first. Lancaster will come offensively at their own 25, and let's watch them closely and see how they come out now. They've had a variety of sets in the first half. Up over the ball with Waleski. They shift up into a double wing T. As the Feds had a double reverse again, and nothing, as the Comets stay right at home, and they pop Steve Usinski for a loss of a couple of yards again. And the razzle-dazzle just takes too long to develop. With a good Comet rush, by the time they get the guy who's finally going to end up with a pigskin, he's got the kibosh, and he's down on the gridiron. Unless you've got that good offensive forward wall, you better forget the razzle-dazzle. They shift up again into a double-wing T against the 4. Running to the right side is John Koska, and he's popped right back there again for a loss, and there's Jernus in there popping him, and also in there to help out Jeff Martinson. And I'll tell you, these linemen are coming right now. It's 3rd down and 15 as the ball goes back now to the 20. Well, if the Cardinals made some adjustments at halftime, they haven't shown up as yet. Out of the I formation, shift up into a deuce backfield, split the left end out. Line balance, back to throw. It's still Usinski. They set a screen. He cranks it up. Incomplete as the pass was intended for Joe Kraska. And I'll tell you, that screen was covered about like a tenth. Had he caught it, he'd lost another 5. 4th down and a long ways to go as we open the 3rd period, 16-zip. Hillcrest out in front. Lancaster forced into a kicking situation as Joe Kraska will go back to kick it away. He's only back about 10 yards. There's a snap, a high one. He side saddles, a line drive kick, a blue darter, rolls over the 50 and down to the 38-yard line, where it's touched down there by Wallenberg. He didn't kick that kick straight away. He kind of side saddled it, and he hit a blue darter, a line drive right over the head of the linesman, went down to the 38, touchdown there, and Hillcrest will come offensively from that point. Hillcrest with good field position. Sandine up over the ball, out of the I with a wing on the right side against the 4-man front. Ready again, Emerson, hands off, Strand busts through the middle. He spins and turns to the 31 in the territory of Lancaster. Wrestled down there. Let's see who gets off the bottom of the sack. It's Joe Kraska. And I'll tell you, the secondary are making most of the tackles for the Cardinals. And the way things are going, this isn't the kind of weather the Cardinal is looking for. The big red bird will be flying south. They're having trouble right here against the Comets. There's the little stutter to Martinson, and he's hit loss of about 1. And the kid who made the big play on it was Joe Kraska, coming in from his linebackers. Wasn't even looking for it. It pretty hit him in the back on the big numbers on the backside. It'll be a 3rd down and still 10 yards. And we'd like to see the Cardinals get the ball back again so we can see that Heinz variety of multiple offense where they use everything. Out of the deuce backfield with a wing on the left side against the 4 front again, the 4-3. Emerson drops straight back. Emerson screens it out on the side, picked off by Martinson. Martinson at the 30, the 20, the 15, and down to the 11-yard line. Oh, he laid that ball over the defender's hands. Just let Martinson run in under it, and Jeff Martinson took that ball down to the 11-yard line where it's a 1st down. He just blocked for a moment, then slid out on the right side. They cast it to him, and that was it. Out of the I, wing to the right side. Emerson, the quarterback, hands off Martinson, right side, goes inside the 10 to the 9. 8 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the 3rd period. 16-zip, the Comets lead it. They use their wings as their messenger boys. Estevor and Joel Christensen making the changes. That 4-man front of the Cardinals now have loosened up a little bit in the middle. They ran them tail to tail, the 2 inside men. Now they've loosened up a little bit, trying to protect a little of the wide. There's Emerson rolling. Emerson cuts inside the 15, down to the 14. He goes down there in the grasp of number 63. That's the big kid, Bobby Dew, a 245-pound freshman. 3rd down now, and about 3 yards to go as the ball's just inside the 5-yard line. It's a little difficult here because it's a 100-yard field. You're looking for it longer, and they end up a little short. I formation. Wing on the left side. Emerson underneath. Emerson hands off to Strand, and he is wrestled down at about the 3-yard line. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of black shirts right there. The first kid to get to him, it was 2 again. They ran at the big kid, and he just dropped down and plugged up the hole. Point down, and about 1.5 yards to go for the first down, about 3 to go for the TD. In the eye again. Let's see if they shift out of it. No, they stay in it. And we have flags all over the place. The old Chinese laundry. Let's see. The officials looking at one another. And I think it'll go against the Cardinals for encroachment. Well, it'll be half the distance, which will make it mighty close to the first down. They'll put it down, and let's see if they'll bring the chains in to measure it. Now they're stepping it off from the other way to make sure that they got it. Now they move it back about 3/4 of an inch, and they take a look at the chains. They'll bring them in and measure it. It'll be 4th and a cat's whisker or a first down. They bring the chains down, they stretch it out, and it is... well, they're still stretching it out. It looks like a first down from here. It is 1st and goal at the 2-yard line for the Comets. The Comets trying to really put the kibosh on the Cardinals right here. A TD now would have the Cardinals in dire straits. They have not shown any offense here through the first half. And they've got to come up with something very quickly. Deuce backfield winged around to the right side. They got a 6-man front, and they got caught again. At that time, Emerson went to a long count, and they got caught on the encroachment again. Sometimes, you know, you go to that long count or change your count, and you get your own kids popping offside, but that time it was the Cardinals, and now the ball is down at about the 1-yard line. First down and goal at the 1, out of the deuce backfield, the wing around on the left side. Goal line defense. There's a pitch back. Strand turns the corner, puts his head down. He's hit short of the goal line. And I'll tell you, a good stop there by number 10 did it. That was Steve Yosinski, and he had to really come to him hard. Otherwise, the momentum of Strand would have carried him in. And once again, we see the same thing with Strand. He strung that one to the outside. Had he cut to the inside, he could have used his body to force the ball into the end zone. But when you string it out that far, you take some of your power away. 2nd down and about a foot to go. Emerson down underneath the center. Emerson off Martinson. He's in there. Jeff Martinson gets the touchdown, and very quickly the Comets are right back on the board. That game was 6:24 remaining here in the period. And between changing gloves and hands, we haven't it. That was about, we'll give him a yard on it. They come out of the eye this time. Emerson, the quarterback underneath. Emerson keeps pitches outside. Strand has the 2. And it's 24-0. Hillcrest lead it, and we go back for this word. Busted. It is 24-0 here in the 3rd period. Kuma's kick goes down, picked up by Billy Yosinski at the 3, up to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, spun down at the 22, and the guy who got his hands on him, number 70, that was Glenn Johnson, rather, for Hillcrest Academy Comets. Big Kuma out, picks off the tee, casts it over to the side, and here come the Cardinals of Lancaster. Down a couple of dozen points. 24-0. They have the ball at their own 21, and they've played most of the ball game right at that point. Out of the eye, shift up with a slot on the left side. Out of the deuce, hand off to the big kid, coming right up the middle. He gets about 3 or 4 yards, and that's it. Carrying the ball on the play. Let's catch him, Wallenberg, the big fullback. They shift around so much and have so many sets They don't have any lineup that is set in that offensive backfield. This time they shift up and run a slot on the right side. The slot man is Yasinski. There's a handoff and breaking right up through the middle up to about the 34-yard line as we got caught on the play, napping. It was picked up there by Joe Kraska. He's got the first down as he went right up the pipe. Put it down at the 34-yard line in the territory of the Cardinals. Hillcrest lining up defensively. They line up in a 4-1 is what it amounts to. Out of the I slot right. Once again, the big fullback right up the middle. And he's going to get over the 35 to the 37-yard line. Making the defensive play was Dave Christensen. Let's give him about 3 on the play, make it 2nd down and 7. 24-0, Hillcrest lead it. Cardinals up over the ball. Quarterback Billy Yasinski down underneath. They run a slot this time on the left side. There's a handoff again to the big kid. There's a flag on the play as John Kraska breaks to the 35. I think we're going to see a procedure. There it is. Procedure penalty against the Cardinals again. And on that one, I think the best gainer of the day was when Coach Moe one of his assistants cast his hat down the field. He got about 30 yards on the hat. They haven't had that much all day offensively. 4:44 remaining here in the period. Billy Yasinski wanted to know what the procedure is all about. Officials explained it to him, and we're back now ready to go again. We see some scouting down below us, and I hope those guys can read their writing better than we can from here. It looks like 3 sick chickens scratching in the hen yard. 4:39 remaining here in the third period. 24-0. Hillcrest out in front. They shift up into a slot on the left side. And there's a handoff to big kid again, and breaking the outside is Wallenberg, and he's hit down as he gets to the 36-yard line. Strand is there. Jurnis is there. Also number 23 would be Mark Amberson. It'll be a 3rd down and about 8 yards to go. And right now, those 2 and 3 yarders aren't going to get you back in the ball game. You got to crank up and get something big. Hillcrest jamming the defense a little bit. Eye with a slot on the left side, and there they pitch it back. There's a flag on the play as Steve Yasinski gets to the outside at the 40, hit down at the 35, and let's see what the flag is. It looks like we might have had an encroachment on the left side. We'll wait and see. We shouldn't even say that until the signal comes. Now let's see what the discussion is. Well, we're still waiting. They're putting the chain down. There's some dirty linen. It's going to be encroachment. It looks like someone on the left side of the Hillcrest line. There it is. Got in there too quickly. Someone on the left side, and they're discussing this option. The run brought the ball out. Well, let's see where they got it down. They're still discussing it. And they've got about a foot to go. The procedure is declined, so they'll have 4th down and less than a foot to go as they bring the ball in. And of course, that's got to tell you they're going to go. You're trailing 24-0. You got nothing to lose now. 4th down, and let's see now if Steve Yasinski will just keep it wedge. Up under the ball. Or excuse me, Billy Yasinski. Ready, Yasinski, hands off. They've got the 1st down. It's coming to the outside as Joe Kraska gets to the 30. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals as the Lancaster fans get a little something to holler about in the ball game. They're down 24-0. They need a touchdown in this drive to get themselves back into the action. course, the big factor here also, the fact that Hillcrest able to get the 2-point conversions on all 3 of their TDs. Out of the eye. Shift up, slot on the right, Steve Yasinski in the slot. Back to throw is Bill Yasinski. Cranks it out, overthrows. The pass is intended for Steve Yasinski at the 10, but he was well overthrown. The pass went out of bounds, covered on the play by Mike Strand. Second down and 10 at the 30 in the territory of the Hillcrest Academy Comets. 3:25 remaining in the third period. And I'll tell you, as that sun goes down in the west, the cool comes up here at Crookston. Slot on the right side. There's a handoff again to the big fullback, Wallenberg, and he battles his way just short of the 26-yard line. There on the defensive play, Jerry Martinson comes away, hit him by the ankle. Let's get in 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6 yards to go, but time now a big factor. They've got to get a touchdown in this drive. They're going to get back into the action. Shift up in to what amounts to a double wing T. There's the handoff to Steve Yasinski trying to get outside. There's no room. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Joe Christensen is there. Also there to help out Chuck Christensen. And still adding to that would be Mark Amberson. It'll be a 4th down. Here's a biggie for you. 4th down and 6 yards to go. You're trailing by 24. You've got to pick it up right here. You can't give the Comets the football back again. And I think the real story of the Comets' success, in spite of their good run and their good offense, is the defense. They have done a great job there. Now they come out in an eye on the right, or slot on the right side. Back to throw, pass. Good catch. Great catch at the 18. Strand hit him immediately, but Steve Yasinski held on to it. He's going to have enough for the 1st down at the 18, just barely. A tremendous grab. He stretched out the full length of what his body would give him. Tucked the pigskin in. Strand hit him at the same time, trying to separate him from the ball, but he hung on. 1st and 10 at the 18, in the territory of the Comets. 2 minutes, 3 seconds remaining in the 3rd period. 24-0 Comets. Shift up in the slot on the left side. Steve Yasinski in the slot. Billy Yasinski out on the side. Pass complete and out at the 10-yard line. Pass complete on the far side to Lee Christensen. Give him about 8 yards on the play. 2nd down and 2 yards to go, and I'll tell you, that time, Billy Yasinski got some protection as he dropped back to Crank. They shift up. They put Steve Yasinski in the slot on the left side. There's the hand up to Wallenberg. He's going to get about 2 as he comes up the right side. Not much room there, as on the bottom of the stack coming away is Jeff Martinson. I got up to inside the 10, about the 9-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about a yard to go. They're in 4-down territory, so no problem that way now. Shift up into the double wing P. There's a hand up to Wallenberg. He has the 1st down as he gets inside the 5-yard line. Joel Christensen on top of him there. Also there is Mark Amberson. But the Lancaster Cardinals have come alive. Their fans hooping it up just below us. We have 1:19 still remaining in the 3rd period. Up over the ball. In the eye. Shift up. Double wing. There's back to throw. Coming to right side. Billy Yasinski. Pass. Oh, it couldn't hang on in the end zone. I think probably Mike Strand might have deflected it just a little bit. It was intended for Randy Maslowski. It'll be a 2nd down. And about 4 yards through the TD territory. He rolled right, threw the pass low, so the interception would be difficult. But the receiver could not come up with it. Billy Yasinski down underneath the center. Yasinski hands off, trying to get some running room down close to the 1-yard line. Goes John Kraska with sheer power. 1st down and goal at the 1-yard line. Wallenberg comes back in as Kraska comes out. Up over the ball is Lancaster trying to get on the board desperately here. Double wing T. There's a flag on the play. And I think we're going to see a procedure. It looked like the right guard, the right tackle was popping. A legal procedure? No, it's encroachment against Hillcrest. Encroachment against Hillcrest, and Lancaster on the board.
Dr. Ketterman, please. Dr. Ketterman.
Who got it? Joe Kraska with a touchdown. We were so busy watching the other thing. Kraska from 1 yard out. And here are the big two-point plays now. 24-6, Hillcrest lead it. They got to go for the two. The wing on the right side. There's a hand up to Wallenberg, and is he in there? No, he did not make it, and that is a big play here in this ballgame. 24-6, Hillcrest lead it. They'll come back and kick off, and we'll listen to this. Steve Yasinski will kick off. Ready, Yasinski. Kick right down the middle. Bounces at the 10. Picked up, coming to the near side is Langley. Langley is hit down as he gets over the 20 to the 21-yard line. And there on the stop was Joe Kraska. And now, of course, Hillcrest are going to have to start to wind some time off that clock. 25 seconds remaining here in the fourth period. They lead it 24-6. Remember, the winner of this one will be playing the winner of the Deer Creek Wildcats and Welcome. That game going on at Fairmont tonight. Wing goes to the right side out the I formation. Hand off to Strand, spins and turns. He's going to get about two, and that's it. And I'll tell you, Lancaster right now are fired up. Getting off the bottom of that stack, we see number 71 would be Ivan Schofield. First one to get to him, and they got a lot of help. And that's the end of the third period with the score. Hillcrest Academy Comets 24, and Lancaster's Cardinals coming away with 6, and we go back and listen to this.
Super.
Well, as we come back, Jeff Martinson took the first handoff and ran up to the 29-yard line to start the fourth and final period. It'll be third down and about 2 yards to go, and for the Comets now, control of the ball is a big story. They lead it 24-6. They'd like to run off some time on that clock. This time to come out, Estevo is a wing out on the left side with a deuce backfield against a four-man front. Amberson keeps. He's got the first down. I do believe the forward progress will determine it. He just wedged out on the left side, and right there to pop him was Bruce Waleski, but not until he picked up the first, getting to the 32 in his own territory. I tell you, when you got those linemen coming like those Lancaster kids are doing right now, you just run that wedge through on that seam and you get that 2-yarder. They come out this time, Joe Christensen, wing on the right side with a deuce backfield against the four-man front again. They've stayed in that four. Pitches back to Strand. Strand turns inside, spins, turns. He gets to the 40-yard line. He's going to be very close to the first down. You'll see just where they put him down. 39, territory of Lancaster. Getting off the stack on the bottom, it's Lee Christensen for the Cardinals. That time, Strand cut in up inside as he forced the corner man to the outside, and it'll be second down with a yard to go. Ball control, 24-6. They lead it. That's the name of the game now for the Cardinals, with the clock showing 10 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the action. They come out this time and they flip-flop. This time as they put the wing around on the left side against the, or with the deuce backfield, four-man rush. There's a handoff to Martinson, and Martinson gets about a yard or yard and a half as he comes off the right side. Wallenberg there to put the kibosh on him. It'll be enough for the first down as he gets to the 37 in the territory of Lancaster. And Lancaster got to get their meat hooks on the football. They trail by 18. Up over the ball is Joe Christensen, wings out right, deuce backfield, four-man defensive front. There's the handoff again to Martinson. Martinson fights over the 35 and down to the 34-yard line. Right there on the play is John Kraska and Joe Kraska. The two Kraska boys, a couple of good-looking athletes. second down. Let's give him 3 on the play, make it second down and 7 inside the 35 at the 34-yard line. Winged left again. There's the handoff again to Martinson. Just straight handoffs now. Brute power. They get up to about the 31-yard line. Right there, getting off the stack is Blaine Waleski, and also in on the play, number 41 will be John Kraska again. It'll be third down and about 4 yards to go. A long 4, a short 5. As Hillcrest come up over the ball, running, control it. Joel Christensen wings way out on the right side. And we're going to have an encroachment. Wallenberg, a little change in count again at the line of scrimmage, and Wallenberg got offside, and that'll give Hillcrest the first down as the ball will come down close now to the 27-yard line. And it's first and 10, Hillcrest at the 27. They're down in 4-down territory now, and the clock just rolling down in their favor as they lead by 18 as 24-6. We're in the fourth and final period. Hillcrest up over the ball. This time Estevaux is the wing out on the left side. Amberson, the quarterback, down in under center, barking out the signal, straps right straight back. He looks, he cranks up the middle, and the pass is intercepted. We got flags all over the place. I think we're going to find that the pass receiver was bumped downfield. It'll go against Lancaster. Pass interference called against Lancaster. And I don't think they have to spend much time discussing this option with Austin.
Dr. Ketterling, 204, please. Dr. Ketterling, 204.
Well, they'll step it off. It's at the 28. They'll go half the distance. It should be down at about the 14-yard line, I would assume, if our arithmetic is correct. And we have trouble counting to 5 even when we got our gloves off. But it goes to the 14, where it's the first and 10 for the Hillcrest Academy Comets. Up over the ball. Let's see how they line this time. They really put the wing out wide on the left side, out of the eye, and they come to the deep man, Strand, and he gets about a yard. He's tripped up actually by Randy Maslowski, who got a hold of the leg, and then he spun forward for about a half a yard. So it's second down and about 9.5. The big thing for the Comets, of course, is that clock. They lead it 24-6. And it looks like 8 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. Ready to go again, wing on the right side. And we're going to find the short man, Amberson, keeping the ball. He's going to go in, but the short man in the I formation was popping around like a sick rooster pheasant, and they're going to bring it back and step it off against him. No doubt of it, the short man in the I formation was popping around, and that's a no-no. They'll step it off against Hillcrest. Amberson rolled left, sauntered into the end zone, but all to no avail. And the ball will come back now to the 19-yard line where it's second down and 15 yards to go. 7 minutes and 45 seconds and running, the clock shows. I formation, wing on the left side, still that 4-man front. They've stayed with that. There's the reverse back to Christensen. He tries to get outside, fights his way inside the 10 to the 5. He goes in. Great run by Joel Christensen. 19-yard run by Joel Christensen. I'll tell you, when he got to the corner on this side, it was all Joel Christensen. He did the job. Joel Christensen from 19 yards out with 7:31 to go put icing on the cake as the Comets now lead it 30-6. Come out, going for two again. They line up in a deuce backfield, wing on the left side. Amberson down underneath. Amberson, hands off, and let's see, Martinson makes it. No, he does not. No good, and with the score, 30-6, Hillcrest, with 7:31 to go in the ball game. Timeout. We go back and listen to this.
Quality McCulloch chainsaws start at only $114.95 at Swanson Equipment Company, just west of Fergus Falls. Also, a good selection of used models from
Hillcrest leading well on their way now to a state championship berth, unless the roof really falls in on them. Here's a kick, a good kick, goes into the end zone. They'll have to bring it out. They cannot run it out. And it'll come out to the 15-yard line where Lancaster will come offensively. 65 yards away from pay dirt and down 30-6. Ready again. Let's watch Hillcrest. They're lining up in an odd defense, five-man front. Deuce backfield, wing right, split left. Quarterback, Jasinski rolls right, and whoa, is he hit as he gets over the 15 to the 16-yard line. And I'll tell you, he was really popped. Jernus is right there, also number 30 coming away, and Jeff Martinson. Well, it took them a long time. They waited till now, and the Comet fans coming by were victory bound, and I think they were hanging on to that in the last minute. Now, with a 24-point lead, they feel they can bring it out and show it off. They run a slot now on the left side, and back to throw. Jasinski cranks it out on the side. Incomplete as Joel Christensen nearly intercepted it, stepping in front of Steve Jasinski, and he had nothing but brown grass to the end zone. I'd like to say that the people here of Crookston have done a tremendous job in setting things up and handling the press and radio people here in the crowd and fixed the field up in great shape. The only problem is the Minnesota State High School League couldn't get the programs out here. That's all they had to do. Ready, here's the pass up the middle. Picked off by Joe Kraska. Kraska is at the 30-yard line and hit down there. Making the tackle there is John Samuelson. It'll be a first down. That was kind of a dying swan he threw at him. It wasn't a very good spiral, but it nestled into the arms of Mr. Kraska for the first down, and that's all you need. Lancaster coming up over the ball as they wing out on the right side. Oh, they're going to shotgun this time. Split on both sides. Back to throw. Up the middle for grab. And nearly intercepted. Nearly caught in the first place by Joe Kraska, and then nearly intercepted off his fingertip. But nearly was all it was. It's just an incomplete pass. They'll bring it back with 6:16 to go. Hillcrest leading it 30-6. The Comets basically with a very young football team. They start 3 seniors, 3 juniors, and 3 sophomores offensively. 4 seniors, 4 juniors, and a sophomore defensively. Oh, and while we have a moment of Billy Rose of the Rochester Tigers who's listening, happy birthday. Moving into the state championship game next week. We'll try to have the information on the site for you on Coffee Cup tomorrow at 9:15. Third down, and ball gets away in the backfield, and picking it up, number 70 for Hillcrest, Glenn Johnson. Johnson isn't hard to pick out. He's wearing a pair of sweatpants under his football uniform, and he's got that long flowing hair that hangs down about shoulder length. He'd put a nice little ribbon in there, we could call him Myrtle. Now we're ready as Hillcrest has the ball at the 24 in their territory, or in the territory of Lancaster. Joel Christensen wings out on the right side. There's a handoff to Jeff, well, we got to get a new change. I think it's Langley running at that fullback spot now, or let's see when he gets up. Yes, it was Langley running, and Langley was hurt on the play as he ran to the 18-yard line. it seems to be a leg. And while with a score of 30-6, Hillcrest out in front, let's us go back for this word. Now we're back again. Langley's still down on the field. They're attending to him. We'll try to get a report on him just as quickly as we can. There'll be a substitution in the ball game for him. It seems to be the left leg that's giving him the problem. And as a precautionary measure, they're going to take him off on a stretcher so that if it is a leg injury, they don't want to aggravate it in any way. And we will certainly keep you Hillcrest fans informed just as soon as we get any information on it. We're ready to go now, as coming in to replace Langley would be Mitch Hauge, playing the short man in that I formation, as they've got a lot of changes in that Hillcrest lineup. Now let's see if we can pick them out for you. Estevo is the quarterback now, pitches out to the outside, and carrying the ball is Dave Odegaard, number 35. He's hit down as he gets to about the 12-yard line. Odegaard is the tailback. Mitch Hauge is the short back, and Jern is coming out limping again. Hurt that same ankle he hurt a week ago. And coming into the ball game is Glenn Johnson. Hillcrest cannot afford to pick up these injuries at this point. Hillcrest pick up the first down on that. It's at the 13 in the territory of Lancaster. Out of the deuce back with a wing on the left side. Estevo, the quarterback, pitches back, trying to get outside. There's no running room as Dave Odegaard is popped over as he gets to about the 12-yard line. Kraska, Joe Kraska, who's made a flock of tackles for Lancaster this afternoon, getting the first pop to him. It'll be second down and 9. The clock rolls down now to 5 minutes and 7 seconds remaining. Up over the ball. Lancaster gone with that 4 most of the afternoon. Have split it out a little bit more. Now there's Estevo keeping. Estevo trying to find some running room, does not find any. And he's popped down as he gets to the 14-yard line. He's wrapped up there in the grass for Bruce Waleski, number 61. Estevo, who started the season at quarterback for Hillcrest, then had Amberson come in to replace him, and Estevo moved out to the wing spot. So now the coaching staff for Hillcrest very wisely giving Estevo a little work at that quarterback spot in case something should happen to Mr. Amberson. Estevo back to throw. There's a little screen pass up the middle. Overguard. Overguard the outside. Hayes at the 5-yard line and hit down there. It'll be a 4th down and about 2 yards to go. A little screen, and I'll tell you, Mr. Estevo really got waxed after he released that pigskin. It'll be 4th down and about a yard to go, just inside the 5-yard line. If Dave Retzlaff, Jerry Hess are listening, we'd like to have him up on the program tomorrow morning at 9:15. Any other coaches we'd like to have you. 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining. Lancaster would like to get on the board once again. They trail 30-6. Out the I formation, slot on the right side. Back to throw now is Billy Usinski. He looks, he cranks it deep. His man is there. He catches it and goes down at the 2-yard line. Steve Usinski with a great grab, and he'd had a touchdown except for the fact that Lee Christensen was right there, and he fell over his own teammate at the 3-yard line. First and goal at the 3 for Lancaster. And I'll tell you, he really cranked that one a long ways. Billy Usinski. Down to Steve Usinski is first and goal at the 3. There's the handoff. It looks like Kraska's in. Joe Kraska. Joe Kraska from 4 yards out. They'll be going for 2 now, as Joe Kraska went in with that one. They shift up with a wing on the right side. Throwing to throw, wide open the pass going to number 10, Jasinski, and it's 30-14 Hillcrest. While they come back upfield, we'll go back and listen to this. Back again, 1:15 to go. Hillcrest leads at 30-14. And Hillcrest will remain unblemished record-wise as they're ready for the kickoff. They try an onside kick. Austin falls on. Let's see. Did Austin come up with it? Yes, he did. Austin has it at the 38-yard line as he tried the onside kick. Kenny Austin popped on that one, and Hillcrest have the ball with 75 seconds, 1:15 remaining. And with the score of 30-14 Hillcrest did not have enough players on the field, so Estevaux says, well, let's take a timeout and see what the Blazers is going on. And we're going to go back to our studio and listen to this. The ball, he cuts inside and gets to the 35-yard line in the territory of Lancaster, where he's wrapped up there by Bruce Waleski. Clock rolls down now with 34 seconds showing. And he has enough for the first down. And there's a, well, personal foul called against Lancaster, and the ball will go to 20, where it's 1st and 10 Hillcrest. Estevaux pitches the ball back. Hauge trying to get outside. Hauge turns the corner. He's at the 20. He's down inside the 15, and there's a flag on the play. Well, we're going to have a clip assessed against Hillcrest with 24 seconds remaining in the ball game. Hillcrest, of course, will be in the championship, the 9-man state championship football game next week. Reminder, we'll try and give you the information on the site, time, and place of that one on Coffee Cup tomorrow at 9:15. Some of you coaches in the area getting ready for basketball would like to invite both the male and female sexes to come in for that one tomorrow and tell us what your prospects are like. 9:15 on KBRF. 30-14 the score. The Hillcrest Academy Comets rolling merrily along. And I imagine right now they'd like to see the Deer Creek Wildcats win. So there'll be two schools within about 50 miles of each other playing in the finals. But that is something that might not happen. The ball is fumbled, and I think Lancaster come up with the ball with 18 seconds remaining. They try to reverse, and the two kids ran smack dab together, and the football just squirted out. Lancaster have the ball. Let's see just where they put it down on the 37 in their own territory. As the Hillcrest movie crew are cranking things up and taking off for home. Well, Lancaster will have another shot at it, trailing 30-14. Only a matter, of course, of the final score right now, and they've got to get a bomb. They really split out this time. Wing right, split left. Looking, cranking it downfield. Kraska has it. He's hit down at the 22-yard line. They quickly ask for a timeout with 12 seconds showing on the clock. First and 10 at the 22-yard line. 30-14, Hillcrest lead it. Lancaster would like to get another TD on the board. Ready again as he set up in a shotgun. The snap is back. Back to throw it, Billy Jasinski. He cranks it downfield, overthrows the receiver. Kraska was down there. Joey Kraska was at the end zone. He got behind everybody, but the pass went past him. 6 seconds to go. 30-14 to Hillcrest. now for the second time in the history of the state playoffs. I remember the Little Valley Conference will be in the championship. That pass goes incomplete again. One second remaining. They'll get one more playoff. I think the guy that's got the scoreboard clock must have number 0 on the pool. He's hoping for him to get one here right at the last moment. 1 second showing on the clock. He could have just well run that one off. Here's the last play of the game, unless there's a penalty on it. Back to throw. He cranks it up. Pass deflected, incomplete. The ball game's over. Hillcrest win it 30-14. We'll be back after this word.
H&L OK Hardware in Fergus Falls.
It was scoreless in the first period, and then Mark Amberson went in from 9 yards out with 9 minutes remaining in the first period, made it 6-0. Estebo took the pass, made it 8-0. Then in the second period again, Jeff Martinson at 5:03 from 1 yard out got back on the board, and that made it 14-0. Then Jerry Martinson took the pass in the end zone, made it 16-0, and that was the halftime score. Then in the third period, Jeff Martinson from 1 yard out at 6:24 made it 22-0, and then the pass conversion for the extra 2 points made it 24-0. Then again in the third period, it was Joe Kraska getting Lancaster on the board with 32 seconds to go, made it 24-6 as he got in from just a yard out. The extra point try no good, and that was your third period score. In the fourth period, Joel Christensen of Hillcrest on a beautiful 19-yard run. Looked like he was stopped 2-3 times with 7:30 to go on the clock. Made it 30-6 Hillcrest. The extra point try was no good. Your third period score was 30-6. In the fourth period, Joe Kraska made it 30-12, and then a pass to Steve Yasinski for the 2 extra points gave you that final score of 30-14. So the Fergus Falls Hillcrest Academy Comets, coming out of the Agassiz Valley Conference, remain unbeaten and will be in the state 9-man football finals come next week. We remind you to listen to Coffee Cup tomorrow at 9:15. We'll give you the playoff sites. We'll give you the playoff teams. And for yours truly, we certainly hope that the Deer Creek Wildcats can knock off Welcome. Then we could have one right in our own backyard. Well, that we will know tonight. But right now, the Hillcrest Academy Comets favoring a 30-14 win over the Lancaster Cardinals and on their way to the championship final. From Crookston, where we've been treated great, as we always are when we come to Crookston. The field was in excellent condition. The preparations were great. We want to thank them for a job well done. The only one that we have a gripe with, you know we like to gripe about, the State High School League, who tried to get the programs up here by Pony Express, couldn't find a pony to get them on, so they didn't get here for the ball game, but all in all, it was a good one for the Comets. They win it 30-14. We'll be with you tomorrow on Coffee Cup at 9:15. So from Crookston, good evening, and back to our studio.
Time now for Coffee Cup Quarterback. The first portion of it brought to you by the Normandy Cafe of Fergus Falls, a good place to take the family for a delicious meal. And now with Coffee Cup Quarterback, here's Oats LeGrand.
Well, hi, everybody. On Coffee Cup today, we're going to talk a variety of activities. We're going to talk football, of course, with Dick Risbrew, the Hillcrest Academy Comets, who have a big state championship contest coming up in Fergus next Friday night against the Deer Creek Wildcats. And we're going to talk hockey with Dave Corey and Wayne Horgan, if he's awake yet. And we're going to talk volleyball with Gloria Peters and Janet Kelly. And we're also going to look at the final setups for the state championship in the 5 classes in Minnesota in football. But before we look at all this, or listen to all this, let's go back and have this word. Back, let's take a look now at the final playoffs in the state. Take a look at some results from last night. Taking a look at Double-A. Cloquet surprised Rochester John Marshall 28-13. Little Fergus Falls attachment there with Cloquet, as Coach Raleigh Bromberg of the Cloquet Lumberjacks was an outstanding all-around athlete here at Fergus Falls High School back in the late 40s and the early 50s. They'll be playing White Bear Lake, who defeated St. Paul Johnson 28-8. In Class A, Mora took care of St. Cloud Cathedral's vaunted defense and beat the Crusaders 26-14. St. Peter stunned Fridley Grace 47-8. And in Class B, Sartell edged Monoman on a field goal 9-7, and Caledonia defeated Monticello 16-13. In Class C, the mighty Bird Island crew bombed Hallock 44-8, and New Richland beat Leroy Ostrander 39-28 in what sounded more like an old-time basketball score. In nine-man football, Hillcrest Academy Comets and Deer Creek's Wildcats have it set up as a neighborhood battle for the state title, as both clubs won handily yesterday. Hillcrest over Lancaster 30-14, Deer Creek over Welcome 42-18. And that sets things up for this weekend. All the games in the playoffs will be played Friday night starting at 7:30, and here's where you'll have to go to see them. In Double-A, White Bear Lake and Cloquet will meet at Trade Stadium in Minneapolis. Mora will tangle with St. Peter at Osseo. Sartell and Caledonia will go at it at Faribault. New Richland and Bird Island will meet at Redwood Falls. And, of course, the neighborhood scrap, Deer Creek and Hillcrest, right here at Fergus Falls, 7:30 on Friday. And, of course, if you're one of those people that likes to compare the North against the South as far as the caliber of football is concerned in the state, well, you're going to have a little fun with it, because the first three classes have three northern teams against three southern teams. Then as we take a look at C and 9, we have two southern teams in the C division and two northern teams in the 9. But it's always kind of fun to just kind of compare the football in the different areas around the state, and I think probably what it shows is that each and every area of the state do play excellent high school football. Well, we'll be back in one moment, and we're going to talk, first of all, of some volleyball. First of all, my observations yesterday's game was your kids were probably a little bit cozy yesterday, not quite as loose as they were in the Bronco game. I suppose probably the fact that it was such an important ball game. Rita could have broke it open on that first drive, but they were stopped on a fumble at the 1, and then they had to scratch the first half. But after that, it was all Hillcrest, as Hillcrest went on and won it very easily with a final score reading 30-14, not indicative of the final score really, because you had two touchdowns actually called back on it. But your impressions of yesterday's outing?
Well, I think the kids were a little bit loose there, Oats, in the beginning of the game, because they knew that now we are in the state tournament. And I think they're a little bit more cautious than they were when we played Borup. In the Borup game, they were really fired up. They wanted to go out there and really sock it to them and prove to them that we were the conference champions. And now that we were in the state, I think they just wanted to play a little bit more cautious than they have been for the Borup game.
Again, really, you got to look to your defense. Those kids really socked yesterday. They took the quickness away from Lancaster and really set the tempo of the game.
Well, our scouting report of Lancaster knew that they were quicker on the ends. They have fast halfbacks that run sweeps and so forth, but we had no idea that they'd run all that reverses and quarterback shotguns and the whole bit, all those counters and so forth at us. But our defense held them. They stayed at home on their zone. Our defensive ends, Jeff Martinson and Chuck Christensen, I think, did a good job keeping them inside most of the ball game. We had to get on them sometimes. But our defense did come alive there in that first half. They didn't let them score the first half. They, I believe, held them close to 30 yards rushing the first half. And I think our defense just did a fine job.
Well, I tell you, looking at Lancaster, they had good personnel, size-wise and everything. But I don't know how you can get a football club ready by having a Heinz variety, a Heinz 57 variety offense, because I have never seen more sets in my life than they used. Were you prepared for the one just before the half, their nonchalant offense, as I like to call it? For those listening that didn't hear the ball game yesterday, they took a timeout, just seconds remaining in the half, and they looked like two guys had to get an extra can of right guard because the other 7 guys wouldn't associate with them. The center and the tailback sat over on where the ball was, and the other 7 guys were just nonchalanting it over on the one side, and when the time came in, they snapped it. They snapped it so quickly the tailback didn't even get a good hold of the ball. Then they threw a dying swan up and let everybody run under it, and nobody actually got anything out of it because it was nothing but confusion, and I still don't know what kind of an offense you call that. But your kids, and I think we said it yesterday, their quickness was really the story because they reacted so well to all this garbage offense.
That's exactly what it was, garbage offense. That one play before the half that you were talking about, I think that they snapped it through the legs, the quarterback threw the end. I think the end threw it back to the quarterback again, and then I think Jeff Martinson popped him a good one.
That was the second one. That was just before the half.
That was just before the half. Well, we went in the locker room thinking that our team would really come out and pop them again the second half. They played a little bit more cautious than they have been, I think, the first half than they did the second half. But our kids are ready. The zone, they stayed at home. Our linebackers did a fine job. Jerry Martinson and Mark Amberson. Amberson was quick to get in there. They did hike it through the quarterback's leg to the halfback, and then the halfback would power up the middle. And I think Kurt Sandine, our nose guard, did a fine job, which he also did on offense. I don't know what kind of defense. Did you see that defense they're playing? They put 2 big men right over the center, and poor Sandine goes up there, and here he's got those 2 monsters over him, just zeroing in on him. And I talked to Sandine after the game. He said, yeah, that was great. He said, that was great. He loved every minute of it.
Well, of course, the big thing about that was it gave you a chance to go inside their ends because they were squeezing everybody in. And I'd never seen that 4 played that way either because those 2 guys in the middle, we commented on yesterday, were just hip to hip. They were just touching each other right in the middle. They weren't going to let anything go up the middle, but they sure as heck were going to let things go to the outside.
Yep. They wanted to plug it up the middle against Borup. I think you remember it was 4th down and about 7, and we went right up the middle of Jeff Martinson, and he got 7 yards. And I think they scouted us on that, and they didn't want to run up the middle, but they let us run between the tackle and the end, like you said. And all we really had to do is Ken Austin, our right tackle, was to push that one of the guys in.
Don't say push, that's naughty.
Drive him out of the way. And therefore, then that hole was right open between the tight end and the tackle, and that's where we went with our counters and our powers, and we got good yards on them.
Because when you say push, I think when you look at your films, you're going to see Mark Amberson with the most beautiful push that any guy could get, standing within maybe 2.5 feet of 2 game officials. Well, you're going to get caught once in a while doing it that way. But I think really the thing that opened up your ball game for you was your ability to hit the pass.
Our pass did break it open. On our first drive, we would eat it out maybe a little bit yard at a time, and I think we found out that they were really plugging up our run at the beginning of the game. So we called the bootleg pass, and Amberson hit John Christensen for that long one, about a 30-yarder or a 25-yarder, which brought us down there. And then our running game opened up after that. And we started knocking on the door on the 1-yard line. I call that option left, probably which I shouldn't have done, but that's the chance you got to take. If the pitch would have been there, I think Strand would have easily been in the end zone. But the pitch was a little bit behind him. He found the ball, and they got the ball on about the 2 or 3 yard line. But then our defense held them again. And you got to give a lot of credit to the defense, but then our offense really came back and decided to do the job after that one letdown.
Now, I'm going to give Strand a little heck on that one. I think he could have covered that one if he'd have hustled on it after it went off his hands.
He probably could have. In the beginning of the season, we tried that option. When our fumbles did come in the game, they came off that option. They either came from that fake to the halfback up the middle, or they came on that pitch, and the quarterback would call that play.